G'day and welcome to the Country Rugby League Show. Paul Arandale, Geoff Stevenson back again. And, well, it was the June long weekend. There wasn't much footy, but there was still plenty around the traps. Did you get out to anywhere?
Yeah, I got up to Lismore for that Thursday night game we were talking about, Thursday night footy.
Just a casual drive up the highway.
Yeah, well, actually, I just sort of thought, didn't dawn on me last week that there actually was no NRL Thursday night game on for those people that watch that kind of rugby league. So it was, pretty good crowd there, good game. It was a pretty close game in the end. So, yeah.
It would have been a late drive home.
It was a late drive home, but it was worth every minute of it, rather than just sitting twiddling my thumbs at home or watching it on BarTV. Yeah,
well, that's it. There was plenty of footy on BarTV. We'll get into the highlights of some of the stuff now, and we'll start up north. We'll start up the sunny coast. It was round 8, I believe, up there at the sunny coast. And here we go with the highlights here. Noosa were at home to Beerwah, but the Bulldogs, they got the points. Nice little try there.
Yeah.
The score in that one was Beerwah 38-12 over Noosa. Maroochydore, now it's good to see a prop breaking through and scoring a good try.
The fullback had no hope. The poor fella. That guy running him.
Maroochydore defeated Caboolture 26-10. And Caloundra, they had a good win 40-8 over Nambour. It's just the bounce of the footy sometimes.
The bounce. Geez, some tries being scored off kicks at the moment.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah.
Maybe not so if you're on the receiving end. And the biggest result of the weekend was Kawana Dolphins back in form with a big win over Gympie, 64-10.
Yeah, made it look comfortable.
Yeah, so good result for Kawana, and they push up into second after that result. So it's still pretty close, and I think I may have worked out how their point system works.
Yeah, okay.
4 for a win. And I think they get 3 points for a draw or something.
Wow,
I still can't work it out. It's quite weird.
Yeah, it's good they're putting so much consideration to a draw, really, when they're that rare. There's not that often. Yeah.
If you're a fan of Sunshine Rugby League Coast, let us know.
We're curious.
Yeah, we're curious.
We need to sort out the Bruff thing, because the rumour is that Bruffy isn't the head coach of Kawana. I got it wrong. Yeah. He's in the coaching team. He's in the coaching group.
Maybe he's going to do a coup or something.
I really want to see Bruff, head coach Bruff. I wanted to see him at Origin, just exerting a bit of influence on some of those players.
That would be great to see. We'll go to the Gold Coast Rugby League. Round 10 down there, or up there, wherever you're from. And Runaway Bay, they had a good win over Helensvale, 54-14. They scored some really good tries in this game. And it's good to see Helensvale back at their usual home ground. They played on the second or third ground last week.
And most teams now at Gold Coast are at their usual home ground for a change, which is great.
Yeah. Ormo, they got the job done against Currumbin, 46-18.
Solid win. It was a great result.
And here's Southport Tigers. They had a very good win over Tugun here, 20-0.
Yeah. Which really puts it up Tugun. Tugun were looking pretty comfortable going into this game. I thought it was going to be a pretty tight game.
And the match of the round was Mudgee Bar v Burleigh. Now, you can see on the clock there's 10 or so to go. Burleigh score that and you think, right, they've got that.
Yeah, but, especially Burleigh.
Mudgee Bar have a chance here to equalise. So it was a good kick across field and a try in the corner.
Oh, yeah. Very well picked up by the refs too, because it happened very quickly, that.
And this kick is to level things. It just waved away. And that's gave Burleigh their first win in 3 outings. So you can see that's pretty tight there, the 5.
Yeah, like I said, Tugun were looking great. They've gone to 5th from 1st last week, weren't they? So that doesn't happen very often in any competition where you go from 1st to 5th in one game. Yeah,
it's amazing. Pretty much almost they're a sneaky chance of making it.
Yeah, and it's good to see. Good to see them. They've built well, but they're playing well. For and against is going to be a bit of a thing up there, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So, it's starting to get exciting with Rugby League Gold Coast. But we'll go down to another exciting comp, Group 7, the South Coast. And we've got here the Stingrays were at home to Kiama, but it was the visitors who got the job done. A very good close game, 16-12. It was an intercept try there that's actually split the game. Gerringong playing in an Indigenous jersey. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And they got the result that required 44-16 over Nowra Bomaderry.
Yeah, they've had 2 big wins in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and the match of the round, Warilla and Jamboree. Some good tries in this game too. It was try for a while. And the Gorillas getting the win 36-22 over the Superoos.
Yeah. It was my second choice of places to go. It would have been a cracker of a game to be at.
Albion Park and Berry was also a tight one. Just the last 20-odd minutes, the Eagles got away from the Magpies, but good result for Albion Park, getting the win, 38-26. Not so good for Berry. Then Milton Ulladulla picked up their first win of the year over Shell Harbour, and I think they're still celebrating down there.
Yeah, and Shell Harbour would have banked this, very quietly banked that as 2 points, and unfortunately it's not to be.
36-20, the Bulldogs over the Sharks, and there's the ladder on your screen. Still a chance for Albion Park and Shell Harbour. It's still really early days.
It is, but yeah, you can see around that, right in the fringes of the top 5. You know, it's going to get pretty interesting in the next few weeks for some of those teams.
So that was Group 7, and we'll move now to the Illawarra. This was the round, I'm not sure if it was round 1 or round 2, catch-up game, but they played both games.
This is the Dapto doubleheader.
Yeah, big fan there from Millington, who then this was touted the try of the year.
Wow.
It's pretty close to it.
I know. It's got a bit of rugby about it, like rugby union, sort of like offloads and like rucking almost.
Yeah, so Western Suburbs winning 24-10 over Thurrool. You could say a bit of an upset. And the second game was Helensburgh against Dapto, and the Tigers picking up the win 32-10.
Oh, that try.
Nice little finish.
Fantastic. No dogs running in the background, unfortunately, but
no,
that may happen one day.
There's the table there, and a bit gridlocked up the top now that those couple of games got played.
Yep. Look, you look at De La Salle as well. You know, I always champion these clubs that have come in fresh, never played in the comp before, coming fourth. Looking, equal first, really. Yeah. Good for them. We're a great start of the year.
Yeah, so that was round 6. Well, the catch-up games anyway of Illawarra Rugby League, and then finally Newcastle Rugby League was round 11 here, and the Butcher Boys got the win. A couple of Andersons combining. Their brother had a fine debut for the Storm, and the two brothers Kane and Cameron doing well for the Butcher Boys to win 30-10 over Wyong. Cessnock had a good win over Lakes as well, 24-6, and the Pickers get back in the winning circle with a win over Western Suburbs Rosellas 22-16. This one here, they left it late, the Scorpions, but they got the job done over Curry eventually, winning 22-14.
Yeah, the Scorps are looking good, and pity that West couldn't finish off their good start there.
And the feature match was this one, Souths for the entrance, and Souths 46-14. For all the entrance, they just had heaps of injuries, blokes out.
Yeah. Again, it feels like the two Central Coast clubs are going to be pushing for the top 5, and it'll be one or the other. But no, look, like I said, West, they probably had a pretty good game, all things considered, on the weekend, but they're not getting the chocolates, and they're starting to look like they're going to struggle to get in the top 5. Well,
there is that ladder there, or you've just seen the ladder anyway. And yep, that's Maitland, South, Macquarie, Central, Cessnock, lurking.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's all very close.
Yeah. Well, that was all the footy from the weekend, all the highlights here. It's I guess we go around the groups.
Yes. Now, a little bit of stuff. Something you gave me a little nudge towards, some great early World Cup sort of fever in the rural and regional rugby league. Takoko Noak. Takoko, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
His first name, Noak, who plays for the Park Spacemen, has been named in the Fiji BarTV squad.
Well, that's pretty good.
For the upcoming Pacific Internationals. That is, all things considered, I mean, this might be more common in other nations, I don't say lesser nations, like Italy and Lebanon. Poland and stuff like this. But we're talking about Fiji's 4th or 5th in the world. Like it's a pretty decent international team right now. So for them to even know that there are the Takoko Noaks out there playing for Parks is a great thing. Yeah. Another thing is that one thing Takoko's sort of, his pathway, I know you like that term, but he has come through the Cavite Silk Tails pathway. Right, okay. So that's how he's arrived in Australia. He then went and played in Papua New Guinea for a year, and then he came back and played for Park. So that could be another. There are all these kind of international programs happening where they're trying to get, they've got the hunters in the Q Cup and stuff like that. It'd be great to see some of these fringe players not just be sort of end up going back to the islands, but finding these regional clubs to play for.
Yeah.
So it's a great start. Fantastic.
Well done.
Great to hear. There's a few little things on around the traps. I know that there's they're making a big deal of this. They're sort of looking at a high performance conference, it's just starting as a conference, but a high performance kind of meeting, gathering of female referees from rural and regional New South Wales.
Okay, yep.
They're trying to, I guess, say, we know there are a lot of female or women referees out there. We want to get you guys all together and see if any of you are interested in going beyond just doing it for a bit of fun, kind of thing. So I think it's a really good idea for any, kids, juniors, men's, women's, that kind of thing, to get people together, because there may be one or two of those women who are refereeing out there that go, yeah, maybe I want to be Casey Badger one day. I want to be get there in first grade NRL and do it for a living. So it's going to go at Canberra. I don't know whether you can just rock up or anything like that, but between the 25th and 26th of June at the Canberra Centre of Excellence, and there's going to be about 40 referees they're bringing in, and I guess just giving them a lot of information about what you need to do to get beyond sort of just where you are in your own patch.
Oh, good stuff.
Sort of times with the Women's State of Origin that's on that weekend as well. So that's a really nice idea, I think, A few reunions and a few old boys' days and stuff coming up, but a lot of them seem to be Magpie teams, funnily enough. I always find it curious when there's that little theme. And Werris Creek's one. I don't have my Werris Creek hat on. Apologies, I was going to wear it for this reason. It's their 110th anniversary.
Wow.
So there's a lot of hundreds going around, but 110th is looking at pretty impressive kind of there. They're having their reunion this Saturday. I think it's their home game, and it's just, I think, it's not anything too formal. It's just rock up, and if you're an ex-player, an ex-volunteer, ex-whatever, they're celebrating 1982, 86, 96 and 97 premierships and 2012 premierships.
Okay, shit.
So there's a few reunions. Yep. There's like 40-year one's 25 years. They won the Clayton's Cup in 96. So yeah, that's nice little club. There's been a few decent players come out of there. Matt Parsons came out of there. Yeah. He went back, and I think one of his sons is playing there from memory. Anyway, Barradine Magpies are having their 100-year anniversary ball in a couple of weeks' time. It's on the 25th of June, $40 to get in. I don't know much more about that, but there's another one out there. These they're just churning over the past couple of years. These big celebrations. Berry Shoalhaven Heads Magpies having another reunion. Couple of Saturdays time on the 25th of June. It's you got to meet 1 p.m. under the showground. Under the showground.
Under the showground. Oh, okay.
It sounds a bit sus, but anyway, should be good. I don't know. Seems like anyway, it could be good. No, it'll be fantastic to get down there. It's a beautiful spot, but they're also having a more formal, less under the showground get together at the Southern Hotel at 5:30 on the Saturday the 25th, and they're going to auction off their jerseys. They've made some retro jerseys. I like this idea. So they made retro jerseys they're going to auction off. Another one is the Moolumbar Magpies are having their Old Boys' Day on the 2nd of July.
Merry War?
Merry War. Jeez. There's too many. Merry War Magpies. I think they call it Merry War. Merry War Magpies are having their Old Boys' Day on the 2nd of July. And again, retro jerseys will be worn and then auctioned off afterwards, which I think is a really good idea. Yeah,
speaking of the retro jerseys, Moolumbar.
Yes.
They take on Morris Brothers up there at Lismore. They're both wearing retro jerseys from the 70s, and they're going to auction them off, and money raised goes back to flood relief.
Oh, so, that's great. Fantastic.
If you want any info, just go to the Morris Brothers or the Moolumbar Facebook page or NRRL.
Yeah, and it's a good idea with the jersey auction, because there's a lot of jersey heads out there that would pay good money. I'm not naming names here of anyone that may have noticed in our background here, but there's a lot of guys that would, ladies, whatever, that would pay top dollar to have a one-off.
Yeah.
And you can't get more one-off. I don't think they're making any more than the player jerseys on the day. So, get out there and help support the flood relief. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there's another kind of sportsman's dinner for the Port Macquarie Sharks. This is a big lineup, though.
Okay.
It's $160 for the night. You get 3-course meal and free beverages. So, if you drink yourself 20 or 30 coffees, you're really, really probably paying for your ticket, and you'll have a great night, But Corey Brown, we're talking, race jockeys. Corey Brown and Nash Rawiller are going to be there.
Yeah, okay.
Sam Burgess.
Yep.
Harry Grant.
Okay.
Which isn't bad. during the season. Isn't bad to get Harry Grant up there. I'm assuming they've got a bye. It has to be around the bye time. Jeremy Lackmore, Michael Luck, and Ian Henderson.
Okay. Yeah.
And Steve Spark, who's a boxer. I don't know enough about boxing. No. But anyway, a huge number of obviously. What do you call them? Talkers.
Yep.
On the night. So it sounds like it'll be a cracker of a night.
Yeah.
It is the 18th. So Saturday the 18th. That's this Saturday.
Okay. Right.
So. Did Melbourne have the bye? I don't know. Maybe Is Harry injured? Is he just like, they say, oh, sorry, Harry can't play this week. He's at Port Macquarie.
He's doing a surfing trip.
Yeah, smashing coffees with Sam Burgess. So, I don't know, but I saw that lineup and thought that's not bad. For $160 is a bit of coin, but a nice night to be had and, well earned. The proceeds will no doubt go back to the club, so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stories, a lot of like what's on stuff.
Yep.
But I want to get those out there so people can potentially get to some of those games and get some of those reunions and stuff. So that's from me from around the groups. Yeah,
well, probably just one other thing. You touched on the jersey. Demon Devils. They got their 100th year celebration coming up, and they're doing a sort of building up to the 100 years, but they're doing a decade. Teams of the decades.
Yeah, okay.
Go to their Facebook page again, Demon Devils, and you can vote on the different decades. So if you're a former player or, your husband or your partner or your grandfather, your dad or neighbour, anything. Postman. And they may not necessarily obviously live in Denman. They may not have moved on.
Yeah.
But get on there and vote. Have a crack at it. That's well done to the Demon Devils.
I love how every club does something slightly different when it comes to their celebrations. There's another one where you have a voting, because it'll make it such a big deal on the night, no doubt. Yeah. And the decades that are closer to now, will probably have the people there going, "Come on, I want to see if I become the halfback of the decade," kind of thing. So that's a great idea. It's fantastic,
mate. I think that's all it for around the groups.
Around the groups,
There you go. All right, Quizmasters trivia question time. Now, we did talk before. It's like, did you got a question for this week?
I don't.
You've got to see me organised here. Maybe we can come up with something on the fly.
Let's talk about last week.
Yeah, last week's question was it was two Tigers teams that played each other.
Yeah, it was a Tiger off. Did anyone name the Tiger off? Now, the two Tiger teams were Bega and Bateman's Bay.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming have played each other forever. Yeah. They've always been in the comp. So.
Which I guess Bateman's Bay have floated around. I think they might have played in Group 7. They definitely played in the old Canberra Group 8.
Yeah.
So they've just moved around. And, so I guess they've got to a stage where we're just going to keep the Tigers.
Yeah.
Because I know that used to be a thing when you move group. If club had the same colours, you had to change your colours.
Oh, yeah.
Batlow's a perfect example. They were black and white. Moved into, I think they moved into Group 9, and they were in Group 9, moved into Group 13, and they changed to the black and gold.
Yeah.
I think I've got that back to front, but
either way,
because there was Gundagai Tigers as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a good day to yell up the Tigers, and really, you've made everyone happy, really.
Yeah. So the answer, after I've just waffled on there, was. Let you do the honours.
Eden and Bateman's Bay.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. Did anyone get it?
I haven't received anything. So
no, Jesus.
If you did guess that, well then, Spjorn, you'll have to try again next week. Jeez, we're very organised on today's show.
Lovely. Anyway, we may think of a trivia question later. I don't know. I can't think of one just yet.
Quizmasters trivia question. We might make it an easier one this week.
Yeah.
Right, who's won the most titles in Group 7?
Oh, okay.
Just a bit of a left one. I just thought of that on the spot. It's probably going to be very easy for all the Group 7 people, but look, shoot us an email at rugbyleague@bartv.com.au. Message us in the comments underneath the Facebook page or go to the website.
Who would you put up there? Not giving away if you know the answer. Who would you rate as probably a contender?
I reckon it'll be one of the South Coast teams.
Yes, that's right. Well, I don't know. Like a lot of groups have super clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Group 7 has that big, strong club. It's probably been shared around over the years. So it's a good question.
Yeah. Okay. So if you know the answer to that, you know what to do. But that's the Quizmasters trivia question for this week.
It Snowy River Bears? They're in Group 7, aren't they?
They're 16. Yeah, close.
Yeah, close. Maybe they jumped the
Yes,
jumped the Great Dividing Range and played for a while.
Yeah, maybe back in the 40s and 50s.
Who knows? Anyway, I mentioned them.
All right, so something different, a new segment here. We're going to hope to add this in over the weeks, but it's called In Focus. So we're going to pick a topic, a country rugby league topic, and just sort of focus on that for the next couple of minutes. Hopefully we don't waffle on. So there was a country rep game on the weekend. It was Group 16, travelled up to Canberra, or to Queanbeyan actually, and took on the George Took Shield, which is the second division. It seemed really good. Hopefully both groups got something out of it. But begs the question, is country rugby league representative footy, is it dead? Does it need a rejig? Is it times a year when they play it? Are the players interested? Like, what is, there's a heap of questions you could ask, but we thought we'd focus on that.
Well, you look at the history. There's a lot of history around these kind of competitions, but I even look at some of the most memorable. We're not talking rep, but the old Panasonic Cup days where you had rep teams enter. Yeah. Captured the imagination, and at the time, and there were people, there were city folk that were suddenly interested in country rugby league, which is pretty rare. It's pretty hard to get some of those city guys, those metro guys, interested in it. So I could see that there's potential there to. Well, I guess my take on it at the moment is that there's the President's Cup, which is coming up, where it seems to be a little bit of a hodgepodge kind of arrangement. They're going to have Ron Massey Shield winner, the Newcastle winner, the Illawarra winner, and the Peter McDonald Shield Premiership winner. It's a great idea, but it almost feels like they've just kind of like thrown them in there. There's no structure around it yet. Yeah. Could this encourage a structure where you got more of the groups involved in the President's Cup sort of arrangement? I don't know. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's like the smaller competitions, you shouldn't say groups, so they don't have that title, but the Woodbridge Cups and Castlereagh, Newcastle Hunter, Hastings, they would love to have a rep program, but it's sort of, I don't know if it's frowned upon by New South Wales Rugby League or what, but I don't think it should be lost altogether. There's something in it, but I guess, do the players get anything out of it? Do they get spotted? Is there flow on? And that's another question with the Johns Daly Cup. I know we've had 2 years of COVID, but have there been progressions? Have there been many players from the Johns Daly that have progressed into NRL contracts? I'd like to know the numbers. Obviously, it's not going to be huge, as I said, with 2 years of COVID. But yeah. But you can see that pathway as not a term we like, but also, like, I think players, clubs, everyone like an end game, and then maybe that's what I'm getting at. That if you said to them, it's almost like a Challenge Cup, not talking about the Cherry Pickers Challenge Cup, but like the great of the ones around the world where it's a knockout up until the point where there's one representative team from rural rugby league in New South Wales that's left, and they play the President's Cup every year. It might give the players something to aim at. Like, if we win enough games, we end up playing at Parramatta Stadium. Or if we win enough games, we get to go to the city. Or if we win enough games. Whereas I think any rep competitions right now, like the one on the weekend, was fantastic. But then what? You kind of go, oh, well, we'll see you next year. Good on your Group 16. You did well. Yeah. If Group 16 say, right, we've won this game, now we're going to play Group 2. Yeah. And the winner of that game, then they beat Group 3 or whatever, and the winner of that game then, and eventually get to the point where, sure, Newcastle might qualify for the President's Cup, and so might Illawarra automatically, but that other spot is saved for whoever can win that sort of group game. Yeah. I guess my biggest thing is, and I say I like to see the groups play each other and all that, but is there the interest, like the players, spectators, sponsors? That's the big thing. Yeah. And I think they're sort of, maybe they're already talking about this New South Wales Rugby League. But do they just push a club thing, or is it the group things? Is it like Western, Riverina, put them into a competition at the end of the year? Because they have the John's Daily at the beginning of the year and the reps. And I know a lot of clubs don't like losing their players because they're on rep duty, or they get held back because they're playing, and they get them back till halfway through the year. So there's a lot of questions.
There's the mechanics of it, and like I said, it's complicated, and like obviously the competitions will be competing against clubs when it comes to the President's Cup, but I think also you don't want to set up some of these competitions for failure. You don't want to play like the winner of the Hastings League against the Peter McDonald Premiership, because it most likely will be a flogging. It's no offence to the Hastings fellas, but like if you've got a full group team against the Ron Massey winner, it might be close. They could actually knock them over, which would actually add a bit more to that President's Cup concept. I worry that, say, I don't know. Who's leading at the moment? Is it Mudgee? I think Mudgee qualify for the President's Cup coming up, and they get towed up, perhaps by 50, 60 points in their first game. Then what?
Well, that's
those players sort of leave the field and go, well, we've got 2 more games against two other teams that'll probably knock us over. So I'm not saying that'll happen. I wish that will not happen. I'm wishing on everything I can wish for that won't happen. But if it does, it deflates those teams a bit. Whereas that's probably that's what I was hoping from the George Took Group 16 game, that it was a decent enough game, a close enough game, and it was. That's fantastic. You don't want them to be blowouts. I think as soon as they're blowouts, suddenly the players go, why are we here again? Yeah. And the spectators lose interest. The sponsors go, oh, look, there's no point, kind of thing. So that it's got to be close, to start off with, to inspire everyone.
Yeah, well, just on that George Took game, Group 16 did defeat George Took 32-10 in the men's. The youth was 28-12 to Group 16 as well, and there was round robin ladies league tag as well, and it was pretty even. Yeah. George Took beat the Raiders Cup, so the second division beat the first division 28-6. The Raiders Cup flogged 16 48-6, and George Took then beat Group 16 24-6. But just sort of digressing there a bit, but. In focus, is Country Rugby League, does it need a new rejig? Is it pointless? Let us know your thoughts on the Facebook comments. Go to the website, send us an email, your ideas, how to restructure it.
And if you're a player, let us know, because it might be, it could be as simple as you talk to the players and they go, we'd love... We're from Dubbo. We'd love to go to Port Macquarie and play a game against the group. Was it Group 3, Group 2? Yeah. And maybe that's enough, because a lot of these they don't do that travelling anymore that they may have done in the past when it comes to, I think it's only really pre-season games where you might get the odd team from somewhere at Central West that comes to the coast and stuff like that. That stuff alone could be just enough for morale, and that's why you want to be in a club, don't you? You go on a road trip, have a bit of fun, a few G-ups, stay out of trouble as best you can, and have a game of footy. That could be reason enough to do it. But
well, I'd love to see something. Maybe it's this time of the year where it gets a bit colder and people are staying away, that they could have some sort of short season. Why Origin's on? They can maybe, who knows, in the finals play before Game 3 in Origin or something. There's heaps of ideas.
Lots of possibilities, and like I said, I'd like. It'd be interesting to see what the actual people involved in clubs say. They might say, "We love the idea, but no one ever bloody organises anything." The players might say, and the players could also say, "It seems to be happening a lot after COVID. I just want to spend time with my family every other moment. I'm not playing footy. I've got lots of other things happening in life, and life's hard these days. So I just want to stick at home, kind of thing. Travelling's probably not that much cheaper these days for the clubs as well, so there's a lot to consider, I guess. Yeah, well, that was in focus. Country Rugby League rep footy, is it dead? Does it need a new rejig? Let us know. We've had our sort of say, and really people can get in contact with us on Facebook. Yeah, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere. So yell it out your window. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We'll hear it. No worries. In focus, that was. So let's go into this week's footy. We're wrapping it up very quickly. Couple of big games. Gold Coast round 11. Tugun v Currumbin, the derby. Ormo host Mudgee Bar. Burleigh against Helensvale. But the feature match, Southport v Runaway Bay. That'll be a beauty. There'll be a cracker. And there's something you just dropped, but just before we started recording, about Southport having Greg Bird in their team. Possibly for the whole year, on the quiet, a quiet bird. It's not like Greg Bird to not raise a bit of attention.
Well,
you know?
I'm sure we for the locals up there in the Gold Coast comp, they've known about Greg Burt, but saw him in action. I thought that bloke looks familiar. So Southport, they're
but that'll be a great game. Runaway Bay is in hot form at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see those two against each other.
Sunny Coast, round 9. Biwa travel to Nambour, Caloundra and Kawana. Caboolture v Gympie and Noosa v Maroochydore. Yeah,
it's hard to pick. It's a pretty close comp up there at the moment, so it's hard to know what one there sort of stands out as one of the best games.
Yeah, I'll say the Pirates v the Swans, Noosa, Maroochydore. That'll be a close one.
Yeah.
Round 7, Illawarra. They're starting to get into it down there. De La Salle host West, Cronulla Caringbah host Dapto. Collies travel to Helensburgh and Corrimal v Thurrool. That's on the Sunday, the Northern Derby.
Yeah.
The Northern Illawarra Derby. Not the Northern Derby, but yeah.
No, yeah. But even Northern De La Salle versus West will be an interesting game, I think. You know, they're De La Salle are on the cusp there, pushing not just to be in the finals, but actually right at the top of the comp. So, it'll be very interesting.
Round 12, Newcastle Rugby League. Macquarie Scorpions host Cessnock. Curry v West, that's the feature match. Lakes and Wyong do battle. Maitland travel down to the entrance, and Central and Souths. Yeah,
I reckon, actually, funnily enough, of the games I'm interested in, the Lakes versus Wyong, because Wyong are really pressing to get in the finals group. And if they really need to win that, it's not quite a must win, but if they do, they're going to give themselves a massive chance of being in the finals.
Group 7, round 9, Berry host Gerringong, Kiama v Jamboree, Nowra and Milton Ulladulla, Albion Park and the Stingrays, and Shell Harbour v Warilla. A couple of good ones there as well.
Shell Harbour and Warilla will be good. I mean, apart from being under the grandstand at Berry, you can get yourself out from under there. If you survive under the grandstand at Berry, Shell Harbour and Warilla will be a cracker of a game.
Round 8 and RRL Evans Head do battle with Tweed Coast on the Saturday. Then the rest are on Sunday. Northern United host Ballina. Coogin take on Kyogle. Lower Clarence and Balamble. And then, as I said, the feature match, Morris Brothers v Murwillumbah, the 70s retro jerseys they'll be wearing. If you want to bid for one of them, just contact their Facebook pages.
It might be worth whacking on that game on BarTV just to see the jerseys. I'll be doing that for sure. It'll be fantastic.
Round 9, Canberra, Tuggeranong v Gungahlin. The Kangaroos take on Goulburn City. Yass at home to Belconnen United. And Queanbeyan Blues take on West Belconnen United. Woden Valley have the bye. Which one of those?
I think the Roos vs Goulburn City will be an interesting one. They're sort of like both bouncing around thereabouts. It'd be interesting to see who comes out on top on that one. It'll be a close game. Yeah.
We've got a few of the other comps, so I quickly went through them too, and there's a couple of tops of the table clashes. Castle Ray League, round 8. Cobar, top of the table against Narromine, third.
Yeah, that'll be a cracker of a game. It'll you're right. You sort of forget these ones are all hoeing about out there doing their thing, but no, that'll be a good game.
Woodbridge Cup, round 7. Manildra take on Peak Hill, 1v2 again.
Yeah, and that's now the Woodbridge Cup merged with the Midwest Cup as well this year as well. So it's quite a healthy competition at the moment. Yeah.
Group 19, Narwan Eels, the Inverell Hawks, 1v2 as well, round 7.
Yeah, top of the table. That'll be a good one up there. A lot of these areas were lucky enough to avoid rain, so they haven't had. There's no catch-up games. They're actually just playing their regular rounds. Yeah.
Muswellbrook do take on Denman 3v2. Round 8 there at Group 21. So sort of Denman's only, 20k from Muswellbrook. So a bit of a nice rivalry.
Grudge match. Yeah, there's probably players living in either part, so that'll be an interesting game.
Group 2, round 8, it's the Grafton Derby. It's Grafton hosts South Grafton, 3v6, but that really means nothing where they are on the table.
No, that's right. And it's, like you say, it's a battle of Grafton, really. So see what the ghosts can get up, maybe. Yeah.
Ipswich, round 10, Redbank v Brothers, 2v3. Another close one there. Also, Border Rivers, round 6. Inglewood host Tenterfield. I know Tenterfield Tigers have been doing a lot for Stapleton up there. He had a unfortunate accident, raising funds.
That's true. Yeah, good for them. We should promote that. I'll mention that next week. Yeah.
And finally, Northern Territory round 7, Nightcliff against Brothers 3v2. So
that's a game I'd love to get to. It's a hell of a drive, but I do want to get to a Northern Territory game one day. It'd be fantastic. If anyone wants to, pay my airfare, and I'm fine with that.
Mate, that sounds like your car, actually.
I know, that's the phone now saying Jetstar sponsor. Adam McDougall saying, "Oh look, I'll fund, not just sponsor you, I'll fund you to go to Darwin." It'll be fantastic.
Awesome, mate. Well, that's it for another show. As we say, if you want to help out any of the competitions, the teams that we provide footage for each week on BarTV Sports, you can become a subscriber, $19.95 per month. 50% goes back to your competition or club, depending what competition it is.
It's the hardest decision you have to make when you become a subscriber.
Just choking on my own spit. That's what
It's sort of a subscriber going, "Oh, I like that team. Oh, they might need the money." Oh, it's really, really tricky. So think ahead, maybe.
Yeah. So plenty of footy happening this weekend. If you're not sitting at home watching, make sure you get out to a game and support your local footy club. Maybe buy some merch as well.
Yeah, love it. Buy some merch online.
Yeah.
Do both. You know, you can. I mean, thanks to BarTV, you can often watch some of the lower grades at home and then go to the same game and watch the first grade, or vice versa. Watch the lower grades and say, "Look, I'm going to go watch the first grade at home because it's a bit warmer." Yeah, fantastic.
All right, mate. Well, let's get out of here before it gets too late.
Yep.
Not 11 p.m. like it was at.
No.
At least more the other week.
No, they were trying to spend about an hour in the middle trying to keep warm. The poor buggers. And the poor ref was ready to go home, kept looking at his watch.
Alrighty, that's it. Another Country Rugby League show done and dusted. Paul Arandale, Geoff Stevenson saying goodbye. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers.